Respecting each other. I think I can learn so much from Blondell. Like I don't think I'm the oracle. Like he might have a much better way of explaining some of the assignments and just be maybe more approachable to students. And I love that. I think that's what for me is a good partnership with an SI.
I believe SI should be kind of like a shadow, more like an extension. Let's say the professor's there, I'll be there. And that's basically the words I would put it into.
There has to be just, mutual respect and kind of mutual understanding that we're both trying to do the same thing and kind of understanding the task or the mission. And, it's great if we disagree about stuff, but just ultimately we're there for the students. And I think, having that kind of common goal is crucial. And having good chemistry and humor, I think, doesn't hurt either.
I think it's kind of like, I don't know, like playing basketball or something. It's not really, I have always a clear plan what I want to do, but Blondell doesn't really ask me like, so what's today? What do I have to do? He's kind of goes with the flow. So he picks up where he sees like, okay, now's the time he can like jump in and be a backup. So I think it's very intuitive, actually.
I will show students how to do something, and he will walk around and see if anybody needs help. And he, just has a really good attitude and good, sort of good way of communicating with students. So students feel relaxed with him. So I think it's very, I wouldn't say casual. It's just a very intuitive process.
I would define it as a co-op. The partnership, whether it be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, everything needs to just fit and go. Even though sometimes like you might have like hiccups, but I feel as long as the main points, the majority of the stuff fit and goes, you'll have a partnership, and a perfect partnership, honestly.
Well, I really trust him, and I think it goes both ways. He really trusts me because he's been through the class, so he knows that everybody will survive and it's gonna be fun and fine. And so I think that's crucial, and I really trust that he can, he knows that there is sort of, I have a method to my madness, how I teach.
I'm gonna walk you through how to choose the favorite from the 5. Okay. But make sure you choose the entire group of 5 images for the bracket, okay?
I trust that he steps in those situations. So it's good to know that, because he won't like make anybody more sort of anxious. He's gonna be like, let's all chill, it's gonna be okay, and we're all gonna be fine. When I see him helping students that, not just one student, or maybe students that are next to each other. Oh. So I always love when he talks to kind of 3 students at once and kind of approaches people as a collective as well.
For me, it's that the professor believes that I was right to do this. I was the right person to do this.
Well, what Blondell has been telling me is that he was really surprised that somebody really like validated him and appreciated him, not just as a student in a classroom, but that he has a potential for something else. And so that's been really sort of sweet to hear, because he's like, oh, I didn't even know I was doing this. So like giving, a student that kind of confidence that they can go and work with people, or they can in some ways, be an authority and looked up to, I think is really important to instill in students.
When it comes to continuing her work.
Yeah, she's not gonna be able to do it.
Can't.
Yeah, okay. So
You have to be the perfect student. I'm very serious about this. You definitely have to be the perfect student. The first time I took this class, I don't believe I was the perfect student, But
You
as
traveled from Far Rockaway and you were here every class before 9 a.m.
True.
Like before, and I was impressed. So that's the biggest accomplishment.
but this
I think.
time for me, it's like I take notes.
Yeah.
Last time I just like would remember and I would go home and I would do it. And if I forgot something, I would be like, maybe like look it up. But this time, like for me, just being the biggest lesson that I've learned is that you have to be the perfect student.
You know, I'm also learning a lot from Londell. You know, it's also, he's telling me after class that like, oh, I'm actually like taking notes all over again because I didn't realize that, you know, I didn't really understand that material last semester. Now I'm understanding it a lot better. So it's like he's giving me little glimpses about, you know, sort of feedback about my own teaching, and I think it's great. It's not just like, you know, me being the oracle, but he's also like helping me be a better teacher, and so that's really invaluable. Yeah. You know, having like a visual example that somebody survived the class and had fun in it and learned a lot and is excited about it is huge.
At first I thought the same thing.
It really does help to have, you know, just an extra pair of hands and eyes there, and you know, I think the students benefit so much from it because, again, they get one-on-one help, not from only me, but from another person in the class.
I do think it has to do with kind of just good chemistry in general. That I love the fact that I don't really have to ask Londell to be like, hey, can you help this person? Sometimes I kind of point out people that might need more help, but I think he's very intuitive, like picking up like who might need help, and so he's never like sitting around and not doing anything. We don't take it too seriously, even though I'm like, this is a pretty hardcore boot camp, this class. But, you know, I like to keep it light and, you know, high energy. And I think that kind of works, you know, because I think we both almost have like that kind of personality. So it kind of works out. Yeah. I love the fact that it's not, I can't really train somebody to be a great SI. It's really, you know, his personality and how he is. So
Thank you.
yeah, no, it's true. But just in case, like if you need some additional help, or now with Lightroom especially, right? He's gonna be available for you guys right after class, always, 1 hour after class. And then the 26th, which is a Wednesday, 3 to 5.
You know, I feel very grateful to be a teacher first place. You know, I think it's great that I can, you know, I have some information that I can share and I can connect to students. Connecting to my SI on a very personable way, and you know, helping him and like figuring out maybe a strategy for his education and career.
Have a good day, all right?
You know, I feel very sort of grateful that I can be a person that could be in some ways a mentor to him or guidance to him or share my knowledge. And then I know he will pass that information to my students.
When you always launch Lightroom from the external hard drive, like the professor was like saying earlier, it's kind of like a debit card. This is the bottom, that's your debit card.
That holds everything, right?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, that's why.
I checked it.
Yeah, you're fine, you're fine. If you want to see the photos, you just plug it back in and launch Lightroom from your hard drive and you'll be good. But you got the whole concept of transferring photos.